Building wealth is not a mathematical problem. It is an emotional problem. We tend to assume that mastering spreadsheets, formulas, and pure logic is the key to getting rich, but this is a profound misunderstanding. High intellectual capability is often a severe disadvantage in personal finance. Highly smart individuals are exceptionally good at rationalizing their financial mistakes. They use their formidable intellect to construct convincing, self-serving narratives that simply justify their primal emotional impulses. Because our own brains are biologically engineered to automatically jump to comforting illusions rather than accepting statistical realities, we are caught in an unseen trap. It is a trap that is actively keeping us broke. To understand the mechanics of this trap, we look to the behavioral economist Daniel Kahneman. His foundational theory is that the human mind operates on two distinct, often conflicting gears. This diagram illustrates those two gears. System 1 is our fast, automatic, and highly emotional brain. It operates purely on primal intuition, constantly craving immediate survival and instant gratification. System 2 is the slow, deliberate, and logical financial planner. Because System 2 avoids unnecessary mental effort and is inherently lazy, it routinely rubber stamps System 1's emotional impulses and blindly accepts them as rational investments. But the sabotage goes much deeper into our neurology. Our brains are wired to release dopamine, a chemical messenger associated with pleasure and learning, in the anticipation of an uncertain reward. This is a chart plotting dopamine response against reward probability from a primate neurological study. When a reward is delivered with 100% certainty, the brain's dopamine-producing neurons remain completely inactive. But introduce a 50% chance of failure, and those exact same dopamine levels violently spike. Your brain operates on these exact neurochemical principles. Slow, compounding, guaranteed wealth feels agonizingly boring. It literally starves your brain of its chemical reward. Our neural circuitry actively sabotages slow wealth because we are biologically addicted to the psychological thrill and the chaotic rush of a gamble, not the actual act of winning. Think about your last major purchase. Do not lie to yourself. Was it truly driven by cold, calculated logic? Or was it driven by a quiet, desperate emotional need for safety and status? The psychologist Abraham Maslow taught us that human motivation follows a strict hierarchy. Once our basic physiological survival is secured, we are driven by powerful deficiency needs, a deep hunger for belonging, affection, and the esteem of others. People do not buy luxury objects for their utility. They buy psychological armor. They purchase the illusion of status to mask deep-seated feelings of inferiority and to win the conditional respect of their peers. The sociologist Daniel Bell explains how modern society is intentionally engineered to weaponize this exact psychological vulnerability. Historically, the foundation of wealth was the Protestant ethic, a rigid code of extreme frugality and delayed gratification. To sustain exponential economic growth, capitalism mutated, replacing that restraint with a cultural mandate for relentless, materialistic hedonism. Through the invention of instant credit and installment buying, the structural trap was sprung. Society systematically destroyed the moral habit of saving and reprogrammed us for insatiable wants. You are trapped in an institutionalized cycle of envy. You bleed your actual wealth simply to project a hollow image demanded by a highly efficient cultural machine. How does an individual build a psychological defense against this pervasive biological and cultural machine? You must actively defend your logical system too from your emotional impulses. To do this, you have to completely sever the link between your personal identity and your consumer spending habits. Wealth is not what you display. True wealth is the unseen capital. It is the absolute autonomy to say no and the power to exist entirely outside the cultural mandate of continuous consumption. You must intentionally embrace the slow, boring, predictable accumulation of capital. You have to actively starve your primal brain of the chaotic dopamine it craves. Taking control of your mind is only the first step. The next is applying that control to secure your family's long-term financial fortress against life's uncertainties. Master your money by mastering your mind. If you are searching for life insurance to build that fortress, or need a free calculator to map your defense, visit insurecalc.net.